Alright, I'm going to show you how I make my grandma's rhubarb bars. This is a recipe that she made when my dad was growing up and when all of his siblings were growing up, and it was one of my dad's favorite desserts that his mom made. So he made it a lot when I was a kid, and of course the recipe itself is not vegan. They use egg yolk or egg whites and things like that in it. So I veganized it, and I've even had my aunt give it a try, who's my dad's sister, and she said that it's even better than what she remembers her mom making when she was a kid. So I feel like that is a win, and can't wait to show you how I make my grandma's rhubarb bars, but vegan. And today specifically I'm going to try them with some blueberries in them, because we got all of these really delicious blueberries from Captain Blueberry, who is just on your way when you're going to where was it that we went to this weekend? I don't know. I'll have to check back with Jessica and let you know. But anyways, we stopped there, got all these blueberries, and they're super good, and can't wait to put them in and see what they're like, because last time I made these rhubarb bars I put raspberries in them for the first time, and that was a big thumbs up. So hopefully blueberries will be just as good. And yeah, follow me along and see you soon. Did you want to be in the video? Are you hungry, boy? Okay, so we have blueberries and butter, some lemon, coconut milk, flour is in there, brown sugar, regular sugar, and then rhubarb. So those are the only ingredients you're going to need to use. You can make this delicious dessert as well. And just so we can have a peek, this is my grandma's original recipe. So as you can see, regular butter was used, the egg yolks, and then carnation milk, which is also not vegan, and and usually on top they would make this kind of meringue, and so that also needed eggs. So I'm not quite sure how I want to make the meringue yet, so I haven't quite mastered that, but all that aside, the bars themselves are very good. So yeah, follow me along. Alright, so first up is me making the crust, and what I'm going to use for the crust is just flour and butter and brown sugar. So flour, butter, brown sugar. And once I've made the crust, I'm going to put it in the oven at 300 degrees for about 10 minutes. Going to check on it then, so I'll kind of let you know what it looks like before I put it in the oven, and then yeah, what it looks like after that 10 minutes. But just so you know how you should make it at home, is that it should be 1 cup butter, and then let's see, 1 cup butter, 2 cups flour, and 1 cup brown sugar. And I would even say with the brown sugar you could go a little bit less than that if you want to, but it just depends on how sugary of bars you want to make. I usually probably do about 3/4 cup, just a little bit less than a cup, but yeah, anyways, completely up to you. Also, a quick little trick with flour, especially when you're baking, is you want to scoop it in the cup, because then it allows for it to be more airy, because you don't want exactly a cup. And then the best way to level it off is just a butter knife and just level it off like that. So start in the middle, go back, and then push it all forward. So anyways, if you just wanted that little tip and trick. Another baking tip. With brown sugar, you definitely want to make sure you pack it, because that is one that's really important to pack and make sure it's smooth. So another good baking tip. Alright, going to mix the crust ingredients around. It'll be easier with 2 hands, so I'll catch you guys when I have this in the pan. Or in the baking dish, I should say. Okay, to know if your dough has been mixed around enough, you want it to be clumpy like this. this. The importance of that is just because once you kind of put it in the pan, it will even out, and it's supposed to be a little airy so that it can breathe when it's cooking in the oven. And so anyways, that's what you want, is to make sure it's a little crumbly, and then you can put it into the pan. Alright, the crust is ready to go in the oven, so you can see that I pushed it down just a little bit with my fingers. Again, you want to keep it pretty airy, so it should be fairly, or it shouldn't be too condensed, and you don't want to push it down too hard, but just enough where it can look a little bit more flat, so that when you pour the other mixture on top, that it will bake evenly. So anyways, this is now ready to go into the oven for about 10 minutes, and I will show you what it looks like in about 10 minutes. And we'll assess then if it's ready to come out or needs a little bit more time before we put the rest of the topping. I think just cutting up rhubarb looks so beautiful. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Especially when it has a lot more green in it. I'm sure this one will be really nice. And another fun thing is that when I was a kid, the house that I grew up in, we had wild rhubarb that grew out of our house, or next to our house. So my dad would make these so often because there was just so much rhubarb, and that was really the only thing he made with it. But genuinely, this is the best. So anyways, just had to show off this beautiful, again, rhubarb color. Also, you have to check out these blueberries from Captain Blueberry. Literally the best blueberries ever. We bought a whole flat of them for $25. They're organic. The guy's name is Captain Blueberry based on some friends of his that deemed him of that name. And honestly, have the best blueberries I've ever had. And I had other people try it at work today, and they also agreed. Best blueberries they've ever had. So, quick run over here. It looks really nasty right now, but this is all of the filling that will go, I guess, more of a second layer, so not a filling, but will be on the top. And in here we have 6 tablespoons of flour, a cup of sugar, some of the blueberries. I might add a few more blueberries. I would say about 4 cups of rhubarb cut into halves, or the smaller pieces that I had shown you earlier, I should say, are cut into halves. And then I also put a can of coconut milk, and I think that is everything. Oh, and a little half of a lemon. So mix this up, and I will show you the dough, because, or I should say the crust, because that should be done here pretty soon too. Okay, this is what the crust looks like. So if you can tell, it's not very baked, which is what we want. Just enough for it to have a foundation, so that's what this is. A little bubbly-er than when we put it in, which is good. And once we put the filling or the mixture on top, these will bake well together. So I'm going to let this cool for a moment while I mix together the top layer, and then show you what that looks like on top. Okay, I've added on the top layer where the rhubarb and the blueberries are, and then this is what it looks like. So it will be layered, and it takes about, oh, I have to turn the oven up, I forgot. So this should be now at 350, and we'll wait until that heats up to that 350 mark, and then I'll put this in for probably about 40 minutes and check on it in about 40 minutes. So see you in 40 minutes. Okay, it's right out the oven. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it looks so good with the blueberries, and it's gonna be hard to let it sit for a little bit, but it has to, at least probably 15 minutes, I would say. I would say you want at least 20 minutes probably, if you really want it to be more of a bar. But yeah, and it's also very good if you have it in the fridge and you have it cold. You can have it warm or cold. I prefer warm. Unless I have the meringue on it, then cold is very good as well. So yeah, but look at this final product. We'll do a taste test as well. All right.
Can I just melt into a puddle?
Yeah. Better than the raspberry or?
No.
No.
But it's
Very
still
good.
amazing.
Yes. Woohoo! Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm gonna try my little piece. Yeah, it's perfect. The blueberry actually really complements the rhubarb, and it's not too sweet or too sour. Perfect combination of both.